Life was never what the movies showed you as a kid. Don't know if I did my best by you, but in case I did, let me hold you. In that moment when life pauses, let it unfold and ring true. Let me forget about the losses and let me think that I'm with you.
Malin Pettersen.
Yes.
Such a big fan of you, I have to say.
Thank you.
Like, you don't understand. I am like low-key, unprofessionally, like, love your music a little too much.
That's very, thank you so much. It means a lot to me.
I mean, and you're one of Norway's like biggest voices. I mean, Spellemann Award winner, like which is like the Grammy over there for my audience that may not know. You know, just a fantastic talent. You know, thank you so much for carving some time and coming to meet us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
It's an honor.
So let me start with this.
Yes.
For a week like this, Malin, where you have like 4 events coming up in the next week or so. You have the showcase, you have this, you have some mixed, big, medium. Like, what's your mindset? Because like, how do you come into a trip like this? You know, it's not vacation. It's you look very rested.
Thank you. I
like,
try.
how do you do it?
I try to focus on, well, first of all, I try to do preparations before I go so that I know that everything is set when I get on the ground.
Right.
That way I can relax more because I know I fixed everything. And then I try to really focus on having fun because I really do think that this job, it's a really tough job to do and it can wear you out. But if you focus on the reason why you started doing it, which is because you love to play music and write music, then it gets easier, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You have like a big why. That pulls you.
Yes, and I try to, instead of thinking like, oh my God, this showcase is so important, I have to like get everything right, I have to do. I try to do, as I said, like I try in beforehand to like prep and know that I have everything I need, all of my band members have everything they need to do a good job, and we have rehearsals, and then like, okay, everything is set, then there's no need for me to worry about anything, because what's going to happen is going to happen, and if we have fun doing it, it's probably going to be 10 times better than if I worry about it not being too good.
Totally. Yeah. Now let me ask you about this photo you had when you were like maybe 23, 24 in the Continental Club here in Austin.
Yes.
You know, you have a history with Austin.
Yes.
Just tell us a little bit about your history with Austin, that trip, like the little girl that was there, and who you are now, and who you know. So
Austin was the first place that I really wanted to go to, and my dad was like, "There's no reason to go before you're 21 because you're not going to get into any of the venues." But when I was 21, he bought me a ticket to go to Austin, and I had a really close friend here called Brendan Lee. She's a great songwriter and musician, now living in Nashville, and so I first went one time, and then next year brought the band Lucky Lips that I play in.
Sure.
And we got to play the Continental Club, which was just like mind-blowing to us.
Sure.
Because it's such a legendary
venue.
And we had like heard so many amazing bands there. And but because of Brennan and some other close friends in a band called the Carper Family, they were able to get us a spot there.
Yeah.
Which is just fantastic. And I feel like when I think back to that trip, it feels like I can remember everything. It feels like every second is just like engraved in my mind. And it really shaped me and made me realize that this is what I want to do. And watching the musicians here as well is really inspiring because they work really hard. Yeah. And they are so incredibly talented, and it just made me like want to put down the amount of work that you need to put down to get good at what you do. Yeah.
And I have to ask you about Nashville because I live in Nashville.
Yes.
It's my city.
Yeah.
And like you love Nashville as well, and I feel like you exude Music City. So I wanted to ask you also, even though we're in Austin, so apologies to Austin, but let me ask you about like the Station Inn and that epic trip that you had in 2018. And how it shaped you as an artist. I have to sneak my Nashville in.
Yes. No, but that was like the same. It was different from my Austin trip because
It is
Austin,
different, right?
yeah, and Austin had always been like a place that I really wanted to go. But Nashville, I thought it was a lot more industry, like music industry, like cold and like I always thought there's no way I'm going to like get in with people there. because it's probably just like so closed off. And we went there to do Americana Fest, which was a dream, definitely. But then I ended up meeting so many incredible people, and it's just like the warmest, nicest crowd of like musicians and music fans and music lovers. And for me, it just ended up being like a second home.
Sure.
I brought my family over several times.
Oh, I love that.
And my kids love it. They're still like, when can we go back to Nashville? Like the Science Center, we want to go there.
That's so cool.
It's really, really cool. And I think for me, it's like a place where I 100% can focus on music.
Sure.
Everything that I do when I go there, all the people that I hang out with, it's just that the knowledge of music is so deep.
Yeah.
The talent and the work and the effort they put in is so deep.
Yeah.
And it just makes you better just for like being there and playing with them. And yeah, it's one of the most inspiring places I know.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great, Malin.
And the Station Inn that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to pick up on that. That was a dream, playing there.
Yeah.
Yes. Like the Continental Club. It's amazing.
Yeah. You heard the owner passed last year.
I know.
That was
Yeah,
a little
very sad.
crappy.
Yeah.
It's lost a little bit of it, but we can
Yep.
talk about
Yeah.
that. So we were talking about travel.
Yes.
You're such an international soul, and we were talking off camera about how it's so great that you're like back and traveling.
Yes.
But let me ask you about like the past 2 years for you as a person. Obviously, they were hard for everybody in
Yes.
many different angles.
Absolutely.
But I feel like I just have like a really nice energy from you, a really nice vibe. Did you like shed maybe some stuff? Did you gain new perspective? I feel like
Yes,
like
absolutely.
As a human, like
Yeah.
tell me a little bit.
Oh, totally. It was really hard. I think in the beginning.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was like for other people, but I kind of went into this crisis thing, which was like a good way of spending my energy because then I had something to do. I was like, okay, it's crazy now. We have to like stay in. The schools are closing, and like we just stayed in with the family for so long. And then when it started to like, when we realized that it was a long-term situation,
Sure.
it got really tough. And I think I've written like 4 songs the past 2 years, which is crazy for me. I usually write
Like a million.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I tried writing, there was nothing in there. I went to therapy and she was like, well, try to put this into songs. I'm like, I'm trying, but the problem, like the reason I'm here is because that's not working anymore.
Right.
Like I can't, there's nothing. And I think I realized how much of like the outer world I need to kind of get inspiration and to have all those thoughts and like, oh, he said something really interesting. Wow, do.
It's like a different perspective.
Yeah,
different
absolutely.
experiences, sure.
Yeah. So that was really tough. But now it's getting a lot better in Norway. Mm-hmm. And so I went on tour in November, which was just like, it just made me, because I was, kind of doubting the whole music thing, which I think a lot of people did during the past 2 years. And it was like, is it worth it? Can I do this for a living, having kids and like needing to be a responsible adult?
Absolutely.
But going on that tour in November, I was just like, of course, this is what I'm going to do. It made me so much better mentally. It just woke me up, which is really nice. And now I'm writing again, and we're going to go in the studio this year, which is
how exciting.
Yes.
So you're being so good with your time, and I think you're going to perform for us, which we're really excited.
Yeah.
But let me ask you about your tour really quickly that you touched
Yep.
on. I was going to ask about November.
Yeah.
You did a lot of dates.
Yeah.
We saw some video.
Yeah.
You looked phenomenal. You looked so
Thank you.
happy.
Yes.
And you even had some really funny posts, like how it started, you're all clean, versus how it ended.
Yeah.
They're a lot of controls. Really great. How was it to bring your songs back to the stage to life, after the layoff and all the new songs that you brought in and all that stuff?
It was amazing, and it was a really strange thing because usually when you have an album coming out, you go touring right away and you just get those songs under your skin and it feels really good. But this time it was like released Wild Horse in 2020 and then just not touring it at all. Just like, and when people started asking me like, so are you making new music? I'm like, no, people haven't even like heard this one. I'm not making new music. So I felt like I really needed a tour to be able to move on to new songs. And just going out there and meeting people and traveling, being in like the van with the band.
Yeah.
Which is such a huge part of the job. For me, that's like, I always say that the road is the goal. So it needs to be fun and it needs to be good in all of those aspects too, not just,
People just think it's the stage.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
know it's in between.
Exactly, yeah. So I play with the best people. I love them so much. And it was just, it made me feel alive again.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, you look great, great energy.
Thank you so much.
You have such a busy week, so we're grateful that you came and just
Thank you for having me.
Why don't you take us away with a song?
Yeah. Awesome, I will do.
We'll edit this and make it look nice.
Cool, yeah.
Do you design your clothes?
Yes, I do work with a stylist just to like take away some of the stress from like trying to find stuff.
Sure, okay. Interesting.
But I only started doing that like this year. She's great, and I bought this from her.
I mean, it's pretty epic, and it's very you.
Thank you. I do love to express myself through clothes, so it's always been like since I was a kid, it's always been a really big part of my life. So I don't need like a stylist to like tell me what to wear, but I need just somebody to help me fulfill my inner like thoughts on what I want to convey.
Beautiful guitar, Malin.
Thank you.
So, tell us a little bit about the song again.
All right, so this song is one of the new songs that I've written.
Always an honor.
Yeah. It's actually, I released this Bandcamp EP acoustic session just like last week.
What's your Bandcamp URL again?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
No.
we'll find it. All right.
And it's basically like 3 of my songs from other albums, just in acoustic setting. But I also wanted to do a new song and just try it out. And it's called One Night Stand, but on the Bandcamp it's called Demo of a One Night Stand. Let's see if I can remember it. Okay. Think of all the things that you could have said if you were in my bed at the moment. Think of all the things that we could have done if you would only let it begin as it begun. But we must always do what's right. Yeah, we must always do what's right. Think of all the things that we could have done if you would only let it begin as it begun. Seems just like a dream, and I think it was. Feels like such a loss, covered up in sheets. Seems just like a dream that I can't recall, but I remember feeling good. Here comes the fall, and we must always do what's right, and never let relations run too tight. Think of all the things that we could have done if you would only let it begin as it begun. Mama had a girl dressed in white and pink, taught to never think about this moment.
dressed in black and blue. And he was taught to grow up and be just like you.
Malin. Goosebumps.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
thank you so much. Thank you.
The day is downhill from here. I don't know what's going to happen the rest of the day. Thank you so much, Malin.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for your kind words.
Oh my God. And
I'm saving stuff like that in my heart. It means
please,
a lot.
and Nashville, you don't need me to tell you. You exude Nashville, so come back.
Thank you. I will.
We'd love to have you. Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Cool.
Yay!
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thanks,
No,
man.
I understand, man.
Nah, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I saw you
Oh.
doing the Lord's work.
I've been a part of many productions in the past, so I understand that. I think you were talking to my wife earlier.
I did,
About Bass
yeah.
Note, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, man.
That's one of our clients here.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I look forward to. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you for having me. This was the first thing that I'm doing this week, so it kickstart my week.
How it started and how we will do it, how it ended.
Yeah. Oh man.
Beautiful song, by the way.
Thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
You have to take a pic before you.
Yeah, of course. Yay.
Let's take it away.
Yep. Okay.
Put the timer. Yeah, perfect. Sorry. 10 seconds. All right, yeah, stay there. Cool.
Perfect. Do 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 do. I hope the rest of your week is going to be great, and I'm not going to run away with your
With the mic,
microphone.
I was cracking up about the pocket thing.
Yeah.
Because it was like, oh my
I
god,
have
I don't have
nothing.
anything. And then it was like,
You have the
literally,
perfect,
like you couldn't
yeah.
have made a
No,
pocket
exactly.
for that mic. Oh my god, I love it.
Perfect.
Best of luck. Actually, I walk you out. I'm gonna tell them they can blast the ball in that.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, guys.